Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington, bringing you guys my pull week video for this week's books. Doing it pretty much on time finally. Again, coming at you guys on a Saturday as I used to. And I only got 4 books to review, so I'll just jump right into them. Starting with the first book, back issue. Actually, I'll review these first 2 books together, since they are the same title. I'll do Thunderbolts issue number 20 and Thunderbolts issue number 21 together. Starting from the first issue, pretty much from what I got the gist of from issue 20 was that some bad stuff happened with Mercy, kind of killing a bunch of people, and then kind of wanting to take it, her killing to the leader and Red Hulk. She wanted to kill them and possibly the other Thunderbolts. I wasn't too sure, but so the Thunderbolts kind of have to devise a plan as on how to get Mercy away from, them and into an area where, because obviously they can't, beat her by, fighting her because she's too strong. So their plan that they devise is that they're going to send her to hell, because Mercy is happy when she's in a place where people want to die, and then she can deliver them their death wish. And in hell, people always want to die, so she can just keep on killing them and it's all good, because they're already dead, kind of. So that was pretty much what their plan was, and to go through with their plan, they recruit Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, to kind of help them out, and there's like some spell that they have to do to bring her there, and he notes, Ghost Rider notes that he sucks with spells and things like that, and pretty much what happens in issue 20 is that instead of sending her to hell, he accidentally sends all of them to hell, or sends, himself, Venom, Deadpool, Leader, and Red Hulk to hell because Punisher and Elektra did not participate in, the ritual, the spell ritual, whatever. And so that was issue 20, and that was pretty cool. And then issue 21 we pick up from, them being in hell, and it's a fun book. I should say that. It's still not, amazing. It's not catching my attention like say maybe like, of course, Daredevil would or something like that, but it's definitely a lot funner now to read, especially with Carlo Barberi doing the art, because I enjoy his art, so that's a plus, because the last artist was terrible, just terrible. And then going into issue 21, to not get off track too much, they kind of run into Mephisto, because if you were reading Venom, there's an arc called Circle of 4, where Venom pretty much teams up with a different Ghost Rider, but Ghost Rider, X-23, and Red Hulk. Teams up with them to fight Hell being released onto Las Vegas by Blackheart, and Ghost Rider's kind of takes he's got a role in that. Johnny Blaze, rather, I should say, because there's the Ghost Rider who's a girl, and Johnny Blaze takes a part in that as well. And so that's how they know Johnny Blaze, but at the end of that, they're kind of marked, all of them are marked with like a pentagram. And throughout the series of Venom, Flash Thompson had his removed, and so he's not marked by the devil anymore, but Red Hulk still is. and so we see him marked throughout this entire issue with the pentagram, and so we find out that Mephisto tries to control Red Hulk, because that's what that means, is that Mephisto has control over you because he's the devil, and if you're marked with the devil, you're pretty much a servant. But what has happened is that Mephisto is not he's been dethroned, pretty much. He's not, the ruler of hell anymore. And so a deal is struck up to defeat who has taken the throne, and it was all pretty cool. I really like both of these issues together. Again, the art was really, really great, really relieving to see a good artist finally take over this book, honestly. And, Charles Soule is, he's writing an interesting story. So I won't go into any more. I know many people aren't reading this, so I kind of gave out a little more than I might give out for other books that people might be reading, but it's all good because, whatever. So that was Thunderbolts issue number 20 and 21 together. So 2 more books left. Next book that was pretty close to being pick of the week, and I actually struggled to distinguish whether this one is pick of the week or the one I picked for pick of the week is pick of the week, but it's just how I how I read it, is how I decided what pick of the week was. Pretty much the order that I read my books, because these last 2 books were both really good in my opinion. So coming from Image Comics, Black Science number 3 is what I'm talking about. We start off this issue with some flashback into it was flashback into kind of the happenings before the pillar kind of started sending them everywhere, going haywire and stuff like that, before it was sabotaged. And it was pretty much Kadir being an asshole and saying that he has no more faith in the project to his superiors, and gonna have them fired and things like that. And his superiors are asking, kind of like, do you think that Grant will go public with the information of what they're doing here, because it's very illegal what they're doing. And Kadir's been pretty much spying on him. This is where we see kind of Rebecca's and Grant's relationship, kind of growing. We see more development in how they are together, and Grant's pretty much cheating on his wife, which is stupid. But which I think it's good that we kind of have everybody's a main character in this, because nobody's very innocent besides kind of the kids, and they're not very highlighted, so I guess they're not main characters, but they play major roles. But that's what I like, is that there's no like pure hero in this. Everybody's got their flaws, and everybody's kind of got something, and it highlights some really interesting moments in writing that you wouldn't have if you gotta have a character that's purely good and things like that, or if you're just focusing on one character, which we don't focus just on Grant in this in this book. We focus on Rebecca, Kadir, what's his name? I think his name was like Officer Ware or something. They're kind of bodyguard. When it comes to not superhero books, I tend to forget the characters' names because they're all new to me. But anyways, I got off track. We kind of just... There's 2 stories going on. Well, there's multiple stories going on. We get that background into the relationship and how Kadir's an asshole. And then we get back into the present with kind of the bodyguard and Kadir and, you know, his whole group of 3 people gonna kidnap the shaman to save Grant because he's been stabbed and he's dying. And that whole thing is going on. Things get pretty intense there. And the third part is we go back into flashback to the events leading up to them making their first jump, like their first accidental jump. And I can't wait till the 4th issue, because the way this issue ended was like, you know, I felt like there was more, and there is more. They're just not giving us it until next month, which sucks because this issue was great. Black Science is a really good book, and the covers are really great. Every cover, it's only like a half a cover, but they're always great. And the final book that I'm going to review is Superior Spider-Man issue number 26. I love the cover. One thing about this book is that there's 3 artists on this book. There's Umberto Ramos, there's Javier Rodriguez, and there's another artist that I'm not sure of his name off the top of my head. But all the art was pretty good. Yeah, they just say Martin, so it's something Martin, but I don't know his name. All the art in this was really good, so I'm not gonna touch on to that. There's 3 stories going on in this. There's the fight between Hobgoblin and Green Goblin. There's the confrontation of the Avengers to Spider-Man, and there's some Peter Parker in the Peter Parker Mindscape world, and how he, you know, is kind of getting himself ready to take control of his body again, which is getting me really excited for that. But the best part of this book was all the stuff between the Green Goblin and Hobgoblin, because that takes up the majority of the book, and also it's just like their fight between each other and their dialogue between each other, and it's so cool, and there's so many realizations in this, and people are taking shots at each other, and then just, you know, by the end of this book, it's like, man, this was great. This was a good book. I know some people have said that it was alright. I thought it was really cool because I love the Green Goblin, I love the Hobgoblin, and anytime you can get like a fight between the two is awesome. And you know, honestly, I've not read many Green Goblin stories with, you know, Norman Osborn as being the Green Goblin in, you know, an Amazing Spider-Man type book. Of course I've read Ultimate Spider-Man, but in an Amazing Spider-Man type book, I guess you could say 616 Spider-Man, I've not read many where Norman Osborn's the Green Goblin. He doesn't show up much, so he shows up, I would say, less often than, you know, the Joker shows up in Batman, which is cool, and I'm glad to see him back, because it's going to make for a very interesting story and finale to what's being set up for the Superior Spider-Man's doom. But, so that was all the books that I have for this week to review. Yeah, 4 books. I kind of went over my time, if there was a time limit, but figure I'd talk to you guys. That's really it. Oh, one thing, I'll be doing my Friends of the Lowdown video soon for January. I'll be getting that out soon because it is now February 1st, so I got to do that, and that should be fun. So be on the lookout for that, because that will be a cool video to watch. But anyways, I'm Wellington signing off with the Comic Lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.